Hello, everybody. This is Frogman. Welcome back to Create Astral. We've been doing a little bit of work, doing some automations for a few things over there in the main base, especially for the applied energistics mess that we're currently looking at, as far as kind of just trying to take care of some of this kind of stuff. I am a little tired of having to deal with all of the back and forth inside the base, so it's time to actually start making some of the interconnections using well applied energistics or AE or whatever, and I figured it's time we started automating some of that stuff. So I'm out here currently on the where we are over here. I guess this would be the south side of the base because out here very soon we're going to start digging up some stuff. I'm actually kind of looking at the face of this mountain trying to figure out where I want to cut a hole into it because we're going to need to start building train stations, and I want the train stations to be in the bottom floor. They're either going to be underneath the main base kind of workshop area over there, or kind of what I was thinking, maybe we'll hang them out over the lava lake that is in the bottom half of the base, or at least in this one corner over here. Now, over there, many episodes ago, we found a Shimmer lake, and we're going to need to start deciding how we're going to get a few things to those areas. So that's why I'm kind of out here looking at a couple of things. I'm going to need to cut a bunch of trees down so that we can kind of start thinking about making some trains. This is going to be a royal pain because the trains especially are not that hard to build, but it's getting the tracks down and laying that stuff down for a temporary resource is always one of those kinds of things I really kind of hate in Minecraft, is running a long line of logistics to something that is going to go away once you use it up might be something that I'm not going to be very interested in doing. But for right now, what I'm going to go ahead and do is probably chop a few trees down out here and figure a few things out. We need to decide as far as where we want to get into this area. So that's what I was kind of planning on doing for a little bit today, is to dig in here and see where this actually ends up as far as being into this section of the base. So if we're looking at our map up in the corner, yeah, there we go. We should start coming in over here, and that's what I was afraid of. Okay, I was unaware exactly where this was going to end up. So I'm not going to glass it yet, but I was kind of contemplating glassing over this mess, and now looking at it, we're probably going to be getting into that whole pile of problem over there as well. But I think we have enough room over here to possibly lay out maybe some glass, or maybe we'll hang it from the ceiling or something. I don't know exactly what I want to do right now, but I think this wall somewhere on this side is going to be where we're going to be bringing trains in, dumping off stuff, and then storing it like above this area, and then pumping it up into the main factory area, and then sending the trains back out. So I'm already too low as it is. That's fine. We can forget that portion of the idea here and kind of go from there. So I'm going to need to do a lot of deciding. I need to probably go make a lumber axe just so I can cut this stuff down. But that will at least allow us to maybe build some of this area up just a little bit, so that that'll go in over the top of that just fine. Yeah, I don't know how I want to do it yet, and I do know I'm going to have to learn how to use create trains. So I think today that's what we're going to work on. So let's go back in the base real quick. We could take a look at a couple of the other things that I have managed to get sorted out, and then I need to make some tools, do a little bit more things, and then do some more thinking. Alrighty then, so with a little bit of a sleep, we'll clear off the night and go over here to this corner where I've continued to do a little bit more work for the applied energistics stuff. Last time we automated Certus quartz, and I went ahead and just did the next thing, which is go ahead and automate up Shimmer dust, at least for the time being. Essentially what we did is I added another arm in here with a casting base, or casting table with a funnel on top of it, so that these two arms can now work either from this direction over to there, or this direction over to here. And then I just took this tank and set it down right here next to that casting base and casting table, whatever it is, and it's just automatically doing the work. So I've got a lever in case I want to shut the system off. But yeah, I think we need to make a fair amount of that. I've already used a bunch because of the fact that I went ahead and did the next step, which is I automated, or at least for the most part right now, automated the inscribers. So we're going to use a applied energistics method of doing this, since I was going to think about doing it with create, but by the time I got done looking at doing it with create, it was going to be a nutter mess, and we're still going to have power here anyway, so I figured I would just go ahead and do it. So we've got the inscribers with the cards, calculation process, all those little presses set up ready to go in them. And we have a little system of export buses that are going to export the various materials into the area with import buses that are allowed to pull things out. Those import buses are capable, export and import buses are capable of seeing this storage bus, which is attached to this barrel, so that if it needs to, it can dump extra parts in here, or it can place the parts into this inscriber right here, which has, again, another export bus, an export bus, and an export bus here. And we have an ME interface here that is going to keep completed processors based on this thing down here. Now, this interface is going to end up with a storage bus on it eventually, and we're going to put a crafting card in here, and then I'm just going to leave this set to keep 64 logic processors, 64 calculation processors, and say 8 engineering processors queued up, ready to go at all times. And then that storage bus that will be attached to this interface will just be able to then pull that out of the system and do whatever it needs to do. What's neat about this is if we end up with, say, too many of these in here, it should either leave them in here or put them back up in here, just depending on how things go. I can plan that out to say that stuff can be in here if it needs to, or we can do whatever. Yeah, it just took it a second to remember it could put things back up here. So that way this works as an interface that says if I need to put things back in here, I can put things back in here, and then the storage right here will work. This storage here is where we will be placing in various materials, so I will have a some kind of something that will, kind of keep things sorted and filled up completely in here. And for right now, as I need things, I will just be pulling them out of these storages over here and placing them into that chest. Anyhow, we got all that sorted, figured out. This is just, I was testing a couple of things. I wanted to test to see how good the Tech Reborn generator worked, just to see how much power it would actually make. This process is more than what an alternator with a max amount of power being fed to it can handle, so I decided I'd put an energy cell on it and a generator. Now, this is, again, just as a test to see how good these are. These are not ungodly expensive, but they don't make a lot of power, but they're consistent with their power. They make 32 32, where is the button? Right there. They make 32 EU per tick out all the time, and they can store up to 10,000 EU. This whole process here, if I click on this button here, uses at a max, I think it was something like 17 or 18, unless everything happened to be running at the same time. These numbers are starting to worry me a little bit about the Applied Energistics. It's gonna get really expensive on power, I think, pretty quickly. So we're going to have to start thinking about doing some kind of, well, power plant to be able to run this stuff. So I think once we get a couple of more things sorted, we're going to start looking at crafting or creating a large amount of power, either via these coal generators or via the vibration chambers. These right here, just specifically for Applied Energistics. They're both kind of annoying to make, although I think this one probably uses a heck of a lot less silver, looking at the number of things. No, that one uses way more silver. This takes a heck of a lot less silver. So it might be the direction that we may go, given the fact that I can just hook these into, a cable and then hook them directly into either a energy acceptor or something else. The reason why I'm saying charcoal is I have a tree farm that overproduces way too many trees, and crafting charcoal is not impossible. So it may be something that we might just go ahead and do for the time being. And that will allow us to have a backup power production system for something later on. So anyhow, today I want to mess with trains, and like we stated already, we're going to play around with them. We're going to figure things out. I already have an idea as to how I want to make these. These are going to be as absolutely boring as I can possibly make them. And the reason why they're going to be absolutely boring as I can possibly make them is the fact that this train is only ever going to go get fluids and bring them back. That's all they're going to do, and they're going to sit still, and they're going to do a few things, and that's all. So I'm assuming, for the most part, all I'm going to need is some stuff out of here. Where's my box? Do I have any more fluid interfaces? No. What does it take to make these? I need some more of those. So that's going to be, I think, this one. And we're going to need 1, 2, 3, I think that many, right? Something like this. Cool. All right, so we're going to need 2 here at the base and 2 here over at the location. I think my, again, biggest problem with this whole deal is going to be that there's not, I'm going to eat, and just looking at the way I normally play games or play Minecraft, I'm going to eat so much of that shimmer that we're going to be hunting the world for it. So, again, all of the cables, every time we want to make any of this cable, technically, these aren't, it's not an awful recipe. It's a, I forget what we get, like 18 pieces of this stuff per bucket. But when you look at how many cables you get per each one of, where did it go? Cable. I love how I can manage to lose this. When you look at how much cable you get per dust, that's not a lot of cable. I mean, it's like a little over a stack. It's like a stack and a half of cable as far as things go. It's just we're gonna have a lot of fun with it. Knowing how I like to use applied energistics and knowing how things go with me, it's going to be very interesting. So what we need to do is, well, I guess we're gonna have to go down. What did I do with all of that rail that I collected? It's in here. Okay. I've been kind of running around all over the world just picking up all of the train tracks all over the place, and this should be enough to get us over to where we need to go and back, at least for right now. But we are going to have to automate this stuff, probably utilizing this process, given here they're like, well, this is how you're supposed to do it. And I know that there's actually a quest for us to be able to make like 1,000 tracks specifically this way, which means eventually we're going to have to worry about trains. And I know if we have to get into oil, we're really going to have to care about trains. So let's, I guess, go downstairs with a whole lot of an idea for a floor and kind of play around with what we can do. So that should be most of the stuff, and there's the hole. Okay, so I think, I don't like, again, I've not played with it enough to know how much of a royal pain this is going to be, and I know I ended up building this platform out across here, which kind of sucks because it has to be kind of right over there. So let's go down here, play around a little bit, see what we can figure out. Because I kind of wanted to, I mean, I guess we could float it above this area, or maybe we could just bring it along the side of this platform. But I don't want to lose sight of all this wonderful lava we have here, so I do kind of want to maybe not bury it completely. I'm wondering if I can get the train to come in, turn around right here, maybe? I don't know. That looks like a nice big wide open spot right there. Maybe we try to go right out there. So, if you're scared of lava, I do apologize, but we're probably going to be a little silly right now. So I want to kind of go like that, I think. It's fine. This is when I wish I had a building wand, and this is why we also have the fun stuff, but this chipped glass won't break as we go, but essentially we're just going to do something about like this, I suppose. Right now, I'm just going to kind of build over the top of this. This should also stop with all the little flickery flappery thingies all over the place. And then this will be, well, I'll probably end up putting like a block or something right here. Possibly like so. And then that'll be our entrance. And then what I got to do is kind of fill this in, figure out where I want this to all go, and go from there. So give me a second. I'm going to make us a decent looking, or at least a remotely safe place to work, even though it's made out of glass and sitting over a lava lake. All right, a little bit of glass down just so that we can kind of play around. If we need to, we can maybe make a little bit of the mountain go away and maybe we jump over the top of this or we do whatever we need to do. But I think we should be able to make this work. So I cut a hole in, and the idea what I want is I want the trains to just kind of come in here, and hopefully between here and there we might have to maybe do like a circle and then kind of come in like so, get into their unloading areas, and then turn around and go back out. Now, everything in here is going to be little bitty trains. Everything here is literally, all I'm going to do down here, if we do anything at all, is going to be fluid storage. So essentially what'll happen is they'll just come in here, dump off their storage, dump off whatever liquid is that they're bringing to us. I'll probably build another little platform over here to store whatever liquid it is, and then they're going to then deliver that up into the base to wherever it needs to go. So the first thing that I want in here right off the bat is going to be Shimmer. So let's see what we can do. Again, I have no idea how to make this work. So we're going to start about right here. Thank you. That's not what I wanted to do. Well, I got a whole bunch of buffer track now. Fine. It's not like I don't have a whole bunch of free track. You there, and then how far can I go before you're mad at me? So, like, I want to kind of go that way. So maybe to there, and then you. I don't know how ugly this is going to get. I don't know how quick the turns are. Again, I'm used to playing with other things, so this may or may not do what I want it to do. Probably doesn't look like it's going to make that corner, is it? But we could back that up a lot. Okay, 1 second. Don't break your glass. I want that to make an almost immediate corner. Don't fall in the lava. There. I need you to curl back about... See, this is what I mean. I don't know how good this is. I've played with so many other mods as far as mods and games, as far as trains is concerned, that I don't know what it's going to do. So I need it to be able to actually do 2 turns in that space. So you'll do that through that pipe. That's not amazing. That pillar may have to go. Alright, let me fiddle with this a little bit. We'll see what we can do. If I have to, I'll just, you know, really down and dirty do that. Alrighty, enough goofing around and playing around later. I think I've got it the way it's going to work. I wanted it to kind of swing out and go this direction, but I'm kind of looking at the sizes of the trains that I'm needing. In reality, they're just going to be the size of the tank that we're going to be able to put on them. So it's not going to need to be... Well, it doesn't need to be massive, basically. It just needs to work. So I'm glad we actually have power right here, because that means we can then use this power right here to produce, well, to pump the stuff out of these trains. Again, I think we'll probably do the Shimmer on this side, and should we ever need it, the oil over here. There is ways of making oil in this pack, and the unfortunate thing is most of the oil available to us is quite a ways out. I mean, I think there's one... right there, which is a pretty good distance from where we are. Then there's another one here. There's not a whole lot of oil in those geysers, so it's probably going to be more time worthy for us to actually craft oil when the time comes. But as far as Shimmer goes, there's a lot in every one of the little, the little pools that you find. So that's going to be something that we're going to play with. So what we're going to do, I guess, is we'll say, hello, game. Hello, hello, hello. It's fine. What we're going to do is we're going to say probably, like I said, this is not going to be a very big train, 2 trucks at the most. I'm gonna say, I think I want it maybe, where's the last straight one? Let's back it up like there and then go there. Okay, and then that'll give us a successful area to say we have a train. And if we want to, then we can create a train. We need bogies. Bogies, according to this, are just basically these things. So I can place one right there, and then that'll do that, and then I have enough room for two of them. Okay, that's what I was wondering about, whether or not we could actually get anywhere past that, and I like the other ones. Maybe we do this for now, I think. And then we're going to just not very anything impressive at all. Like I said, I'm not really concerned with what this is going to look like. Although I might go grab a couple of more, like some flat blocks, maybe like to make a flat thingy here. Let me go gather some more parts. I mean, I'm trying not to be fancy with this because there is no reason to be fancy with it, because this is just going to literally have some tanks stuck on it like this. That's all we're going to put on it is a few of these. Can I get up here, please? Thank you. All right. All it's going to end up with is like enough storage to be reasonably decent and not very tall. So like something like that probably. And then like maybe just a little driver front truck thingy right here, and that's going to be about it, I think. I might scoot that back a little bit more. I don't know. Let me go get some more random crap to put on this, and we'll see if we can't make it look like a reasonable train. There, I think that'll do for right now. Not trying to make anything absolutely magnificent, but that should work for the time being. So we'll see how this all works. The next fun part is we got to glue this whole mess together and make sure it all sticks. So, unfortunately, that's going to require me to probably put a block right there that I'm going to have to glue as part of the system and hope that that doesn't cause any problems. So we're going to glue from right there to right there. Now that should catch everything in the whole system. We should have everything we need. We got the controls, we got a seat, random stuff. Most of this you're going to be able to kind of see anyway. I might accidentally maybe pull that down one just to make an actual boiler for it, because that would be, I guess you could do that still. I mean, just kind of goofing around. I wish you could make the boiler out of something other than, like, you know, that color of brick. It'd be real great to make it out of something that was a little bit more, I don't know, steel, but maybe eventually that'll be something I can do. I don't know. We'll try that out and see how it works. So, since that all should now be glued together, if we check, we should see everything glued inside the deal, and I don't want to catch that, and I don't want to catch anything else. Now that that's all happy, I should be able to remove that because that doesn't belong there anymore, and then we can go over here to this and say assemble train. And then we're going to say cool. All right. So theoretically now, if I get in this thing and sit and push the button, it will now allow me to control it. All right, backwards up and hold space to approach. And then we're at the track station. Nice, wonderful, let me out. All right, so now the next thing is I went ahead and, like I said, we're going to cut the, oh, so this is going to be stupid. Interesting. Well, I guess we'll see how this searchlight works. So the next step is here. I need to take a whole lot of train track and run a whole lot of train track from right here over to right here somewhere. We're just going to turn around, and then I got to pipe a whole bunch of shimmer up from that area and come back. I've already found the next one. It's going to be over here. And then we're going to have to spend a decent amount of time looking for this stuff. The unfortunate thing is, like I said, we're going to end up eating an awful lot of this stuff. I actually probably should go ahead and make the next stop, but I'm going to go ahead and get that built, and then we can build the offload section and pumping station, which is going to live right over here when we get done with this mess. So let me do a lot of track laying. Alright, so down and dirty, I set a track laid. Hopefully this will do what we want to do. So then what I want to do here is I'm going to place this here and do that. Track station, this is going to be Shimmer source, I guess, something like that. I don't know. Forgot to label the other one. Thank you. And then we're going to have to build a system for this, but let's go. We've made an utter mess everywhere, so we'll go ahead and clean all this up really quickly. That should be enough room to turn that around. And yes, we're going to have floaty track until I decide I want to do something with it. Problem with this station or this area is going to be it's going to be very temporary because that has not got a whole lot of shimmer left in it, and I don't want to do any kind of permanent structure at an area that is not going to be used for very long. So we're going to go back over here, hook into this system, and see how well the little train wants to work. And then I need to build it a train schedule, and I might just steal that pig and have him do the work. But let's go ahead and... let me see. Shimmer Express, track station. I want you to be Shimmer... something like so. Thank you. All right, you. It's only got one place it can go. Yeah, we're gonna have to cut that wall down. And then that'll pull up right there and stop. Cool. And I don't know what. Yep. Well, yep, we broke it. Nice. That's gonna mean that I have to go the other way, don't I? I want to go. My thing is right there. Yeah, I need to turn that around. 1 second. Get past the little Y section right there. Let me out. This is going to be fun to get back into, but whatever. I need to turn that around so that it's facing the other direction. So you are going to be over here then. That's fine. So, where did it go? I've got too much crap in my inventory again. I don't want all of your sapling. Give me my station back. I want that facing this way so that the unloader is pointed over here. So let's put it right there. And again, whatever, like we said, shimmer source, fine, done. Okay, cool. And then we can get back in the thing and hopefully should be able to reach the thing from here. Beautiful. And can you back up, please? You're not going to go the way I need you to go. Oh, how in the... what happened over there? Hang on. No, you connect. Thank you. I don't know how that happened. Probably the lumber axe did it. I don't know. Let's try this again. Again, learning on camera. Gotta love all this learning on camera. Go backwards. There's a bear over here somewhere that's wanting to eat me. What does that do? Is that the speed? Let's go back around to the other side and see if it'll do what I need it to do now. Nice. Now you're going to go the right direction. Good. You should go right there. Round and through. And stop. Beautiful. Cool. All right. Now I need out. I'm going to set up a loading system here. I don't rightly know why all of this looks the way that it does, but we're going to... think that's probably far enough away. It should be. Another piece of dirt. And you like so. facing that way. And I think that should work. Okay, cool. So now I gotta do, we'll back up into here. We're just gonna check a couple of things before I get excited about this. So we'll hit back up. And if I hit forward in, and you let me out, did you connect? Okay, cool. So then I just need to hook a pipe up to the source that's underneath of here and pump Shimmer into that and then go for it. So let me do that and I'll be back. Oh, well, that took way longer than it needed to, but as we can see, we're about done eating up this little pool anyway, so it won't really matter. I guess we've got a fair amount left down here still, but we're going to see how long it takes for us to use up most of this stuff. So we've got a few water wheels, running a few pumps, running a few cogs, filling a few tanks, doing a few things. We've got 3 water wheels down here handling these 2 pumps. Both of these are running at a reasonably quick pace. And then I kind of just, well, filled a tank up for now. We have a pipe that runs all the way over to here, all the way up to the corner, up to here, up through this little space to a pump that's right here, which I could probably actually make a little bit better now that I'm looking at it. And then I started doing the math on how much this was actually going to require to do, because of the fact that every single one of these is going to require at least a water wheel or, well, whatever, a water wheel's worth of power to run. For the most part, I mean, they're not amazing. They do what they need to do, but we just need to move things vertically. So there's no point really in, well, using a lot of pipe and things and, stress units and tons of water wheels when you can just use tanks. So I just stacked tanks until I got to the max limit here and just kind of kept going until we hit the limit, and then stuck another water wheel with another pump, which is actually running reasonably well, and did the tank again. Another water wheel, again. Then once we get closer to where the top is, or at least where the train is going to be, we're back at just kind of doing normal old everyday stuff. So we'll block that off so that we don't fall down that hole, because I managed to die down that hole. And then we have a singular finer water wheel sitting right here with another pump that is turned around backwards, that will then, once we flip this switch over, or flip this pump over, should start pumping things out of here, and hopefully that should be enough distance to get from here to there and then fill this up. Again, it's going to be one of those, we need a rather slow trickle of it, and as long as this thing can come over here and occasionally just fill itself up, we'll be fine. I might move a few things over a little bit. I don't know if we're lined up well enough at all to make this work, but I may go ahead and double up on this one just to make it turn a little faster, so that we can load that thing quicker. But I think for right now, this should be functional. A lot of what we're going to be building with Shimmer, like I said, is pretty much just going to be the basics of applied energistics, those Shimmer dust and anything else that needs to go with that direction. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to hope that this is going to fill itself up, possibly. Now this little tank, if I recall correctly, doesn't hold a lot, so I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to hope that that does what it's supposed to do. I mean, it's a little off. Why don't we, like I track to relocate Shimmer Express to sneak... Oh, I don't want this. I need you. Back up a little. Alright. Well, I'm going to sleep before we get eaten. Oh, alrighty, cool. We're getting stuff in the tank. I'll probably have to speed these up just to make this work a little better, or at least maybe this one. I don't know how much more I can possibly speed these up given what we currently have, but we're putting stuff in, and that's what I wanted to see. Alright, so let's take this back over to the base and set up a station over there, get a conductor for this train, and then we can call it. Alright, so I need to build a drop-off disconnect spot for that thing right here, I think. Actually, no, it needs to be 2 blocks, so it needs to be over there. And I don't have any protection over here, so don't fall off of it, dummy. All right. And then I need to pump that into a tank that is going to live over here. What did I do with all the glass? I guess for now we can just do this. Give me parts. Sure, we'll do this. We need a pump. We need some fluid pipe. We're gonna need a little bit of... Where is that toolbox? We need a little bit of this, and a little bit of this, and I am out of gearboxes. Uh-oh. I think we can do that with this, then, maybe? Let's give it a whirl, see what we can't do. So we should have power to pump right here, and then I'm going to be very careful here. Actually, yeah, no, I don't want to tear these up, so... Crap. Just need a block so that I can place this down here. And then we'll do that. And caught that one again. Good, okay. So, right there, we'll build a very small platform for some tanks. A little bit off of the train. Platform, I should say. We'll come back and glass this all over eventually. And I might even, for that matter, like underneath the tracks, put this stuff down just so that it looks a little bit better. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then all of what you have except for that. Nice, great. And then that should be close enough. Well, I want to put the pump right there. Okay, and then you can just dump. I'll have to make a few more tanks, but that's fine. You can dump right there, get pulled in, don't fall down too far. And then I just need to... I mean, I guess I just need a thing. Let me go make a thing. Need a couple of, yeah, I've got to turn at right angles, and I don't feel like using the deals. Need to make me a gearbox. Be right back. And nailed it. Okay, cool. We need to bring over the power from right there. I suppose that looks as good as any place. I'm going to have to remember that as soon as I do this, I got to go over there and flick the switch on this pump so that it's floating the right direction. You need to go that way. All right, cool. We don't want our blaze burners to starve, and I put the wrong one on. Do this. Can you flip? There you go. Nice. And then rotate this way, please. Thank you. Did you screw up again? No. All right. Then we need to go vertical and need a cogwheel right there. Thing. 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 You should be turning, and then you need to get told go that way. All right, and then I can get into this, back it up, and have it hit the station. Nice, and then it should be pumping Shimmer out of the... Why did you not line up? You have the thing. Back up. Okay. Alright. There we go. And we should be draining Shimmer out of that tank and putting it very slowly into that one. Nice. I don't know how much ended up in it, but yeah. Okay, cool. I'm going to let that drain, and then we're going to work on a train schedule and a conductor, and then we can let this thing be automated and do what it needs to do. All right, buddy. Who have we got out here we can borrow real quick? Who's available? Is there anybody out here who wants to become helpful to our cause? Anybody at all? No? No? I see a B. Don't want to put a bee in it. I don't think a bee will work. Where did that pig go? Come here, pig. Think. Should be one right here. You. Come with me. You're going to come help us out. Come here. Over here. Quit hopping around. All right, so what we want this thing to do then is we're going to take a train schedule and we're going to add a couple of conditions. So the add action is we're going to travel to station. We're going to travel to Shimmer source from here, and I want it to wait for, let's say like 2 minutes. And then we're going to add another station, Shimmer drop off. Go ahead. Condition, I want you to empty fluid cargo condition less than 1. Go ahead. Now, I'm just going to let it run for a couple of minutes and come back. I might actually have it do 5 minutes just because of the way it's going to fill. We're going to be slow regardless of what we do, so it doesn't really matter. So, current, reset, progress, loop forever, check. Cool. So, if I do you, and then give that, let me out, and then give it this. Did I put the right thing on here? No. Oh crap, I gotta move him. Oh, okay. Can I have you back? Alright, so that means I gotta put the seat right there, which is fine. I didn't want it right there. But I guess it doesn't really matter how this whole thing works. So put that right there, and this right there. Okay, everything should still be glued. Assemble train, Shimmer Express. You get up there. And here is your manifest. Here, have it. And of course he dies. Love it. Oh, crap. Well, that worked. I guess we're going to have to do a little bit more fiddling around with that. Give me a second. I'll see how far it gets. Well, wouldn't you know, there's a take 2 right here. I'm sorry I'm going to eat your friend in front of you, but you come here with me, please. Let's go. On in. Thank you very much. Do the same thing with you, even though the train's backwards, it shouldn't matter. You get in there. Thank you. Awesome. Wonderful. Same deal. Wow, it drug him from clear over there. Same deal. Okay. Good work. Might have to, raise that section a little bit too. I forgot about that. We don't want to kill them now. We don't want to have all of our conductors die because we're idiots. Let's go ahead and make the tunnel a little taller. And we'll sleep. Park the right direction at least. That's good. Is it loading? Looks like it's loading. Might need to make that a little longer. What I probably need to do is go ahead and put a tank right here so that this is just going to pump straight out of a tank instead of pumping straight out of up there. But, oh, okay, are we filling? Yeah, I may have to go make some more tanks and just have that dump right straight into a tank right from here and then have this pour over to there just to make it a little bit easier on us and make sure that some of this stuff works. Ugh, love it. Okay, one more. Oh, nope, there it goes. Okay, it just takes it a second. So I'm going to go back over here, pause it for like 2 or 3 minutes and see how much we get in 2 minutes. Because I might just sit on the back of it. I think I can sit on the back of this. I parkour over there. No, I can't. But I can sure do this. All right. Well, I'll wait for that to finish, and then we'll see what happens. Alright, are you gonna sit still? I think we got you finally. Good deal. Had to do a lot of fiddling around with the schedule and make sure that the schedule was working correctly. But that should be pumping, putting Shimmer into there. I fiddled and farted around with it to try to make it work as best as I possibly could. This is going to be a slow process, and I want it to intentionally be slow for the time being. It's sad that he's all flaked out and everything, but once that pumps all of that stuff out of here into that tank, it will, well, theoretically, this tank is just barely smaller than that tank is, so this should, with the way that I have that set up in here, let's see, I'm going to have to make the schedule look the same. So, Shimmer source, we've got it set for wait for 2 minutes. This I need to adjust for less than. Fluid cargo condition, 1 bucket, and Shimmer drop off save. So this is what it should look like. He's going to sit over there where he can get pumped up. It'll take 2 minutes to fill whatever it can fill into that tank, and then it's going to sit right there and wait until this tank is completely empty, which means we're going to pump everything out of that tank into this tank, and then after that it should be allowed to move on. That does mean that once we run out of the stuff over there, this is going to loop, which is not going to be great. I'll have to pay attention to when that happens. There's not a whole lot of Shimmer over there in that area. There's not a whole lot much. I think it's probably going to maybe do a couple of more passes. I really don't know. It just depends on how much we plan on using. And then once that happens, I'll have to go find some more, and then we'll kind of contemplate how we're going to continue doing things going forward. So I think for now I'm going to let Mr. Piggy run around and do whatever it does. I'm sad that that is kind of like that. I guess we'll just wait till it, you know, does whatever it needs to do, and then we'll go on from there. So I think, again, next time we'll probably start looking at doing a little bit more of the what we need to do as far as making this section a little bit more functional. I'm highly interested in this process because this will allow us to, well, this little section right here will allow us to move certain things like spawners from various locations into an area like here. So we may play with it in an episode or two. So until then, thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry again for the crappy graphics. I mean, I think there's a way to do the thing anyway, but whatever. I'll see y'all later. Bye.